I was too worried and disabled. I was anxious and somewhat troubled. I fear I was invisible. I was afraid. But beyond all, I was desperate. I scum my body and soul with derailed ideologies of lifestyle. I divert my akhirah objectives to worldly things I thought worthwhile. I do things even I hate so I can please people I don't even like, who I knew never would anyways, no matter how vigorous I tried. I just wanted to fit in. The easiest way to be accepted was by being popular. Beautiful people are popular. Desirable people are popular. Hip people are popular. You have to have something to offer so you can be popular. I never wanted to be popular. I just wanted to belong. Anywhere. Allah, bring me back to my past so I can slap the stupidity out of my system. Allah, take me to my old self so I can kick me hard and shout, you do not want to be like them.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all of you. Have you all people ever heard this kind of poems before? If you say yes, meaning that you are one step closer to know more about indie poetry. Okay, let's explore more about this type of poems through the following video. Hope that all of you guys will enjoy and more or less will get some idea of what indie poetry is.
What is indie poetry? Indie poetry can be defined as an independent poetry. Some understand it as style, aesthetic, or sound such as indie music. It's made up for its own sake rather than a route to being famous. Also, some define it as a private funding publisher, which usually does not have many filtrations or red tape. Therefore, many authors that their work has been rejected will turn to indie publisher. Indie publisher has opened up wider concept of literature that can reach the society.
Feels dysfunctional, it's true. Do you think I'm a fool?
You heard about indie poetry?
Indie poetry? Yes, of course. What is indie poetry, is it? I believe that indie poetry is something, the origin is like underground, something like that. Not really, how can I say, classic poetry. I think so. I have a few books about indie poetry, like in English. The author name is Langleaf, and she's an international writer. And then from the Malay, for the Malay indie poetry, I have the one from Faiz Ibrahim. The first time I heard about indie poetry is through my friend. She has like an indie poetry book, and then I start to read some of the indie poetry from that.
I call it love, I call it love. I don't know about you.
Poetry.
Okay, because I'm taking poetry and it is our requirement subject, so I have to do the assignment about that, so that's why I know about indie poetry. Okay, that's all. I love indie poetry more rather than Malay
Another poem
like Syair, Sajak, because they use Malay, they use language, and I don't really understand compared to indie poetry, because indie poetry is more straightforward and doesn't make me to think big about the words that they want to say.
Based on the research, surprisingly, most of IIUM students know about indie poetry. They claim indie poetry is very suitable for them, and the word used are very interesting and very simple, yet understandable. And also, for the interview section, I found out that most of IIUM students know about indie poetry from education, mass media, social media, and other.
research that we all have done, we come to conclude that actually the publishing industry of indie poetry are now reaching its golden age, as the independent publishing has produced more than one presses to provide the literature lovers to discover more about poetry.
In fact, nowadays, more and more Malaysians want to read Malaysians. As a result, a lot of indie publishers are flourishing to the point that they now considered as mainstream. For example, Jubu Press and Buku Fiksi.
To add from you guys, the role space of publisher is medium for creativity. For example, the authors are not too strict with the rules and regulations, so they can make and express their work genuinely in their own style, thus making sure that the reader can really understand the message of the poem made.
So I do think that the roles played by the publisher is to keep on feeding the community, especially literature's readers, to make sure that our country can stand in line with another.
Yeah, as a publisher themselves, when they know that the society already accept their way of writing, especially teenagers, they should avoid the bad connotation of word, bad editing, and the promotion to bad culture.
That's right, I do think so.
And also, students themselves need to do some digging on their own to discover more the great works of indie poetry, so that the writers can even produce more works and everyone can have the same satisfaction. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know.